What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is going to be a little different. I'm doing my first ever video game review, and today's video is going to be about a remake of my favorite game of all time, The Last of Us. I know I'm a little late to the party, but I still want to talk about this game. And there's been a lot of controversy and just discussion about the game in general, talking about the price point and some of the gameplay choices they made. I'm going to do my best to give an unbiased and fair review of the game and let you guys know if this is something I think you should pick up or not. In this video, I'm also going to explain why this game means so much to me and why I love it so much. Like I said, The Last of Us is my favorite game of all time, so when Naughty Dog announced a remake of it for the PS5, I was insanely excited for it, but I'm also a self-admitted Naughty Dog and Last of Us fanboy. But when other people heard that there was going to be a remake for a game that was already remastered on PS4 with a full $70 price tag, they got very mad. And to be honest, I get it. It's not a new game, so why is it $70? It's not the most necessary remake ever because that title belongs to Black Ops 2. But I also don't think it's a completely unnecessary remake either. Compared to a lot of other games, The Last of Us has held up pretty well over the years. The graphics and stuff look decent, you know, they look pretty good. They're not the worst. But if we're being honest, the gameplay does feel pretty old and clunky. When I played Part 2 for the first time, I was completely blown away by how amazing the gameplay felt. It was smooth as butter, it was satisfying, it was intense. I mean, you had enemies actually coordinating attacks and trying to flank you and just trying to fuck up your day. I was also mind blown by how amazing the game looked. Up to that point, it was the best looking game I've ever seen in my life. And I very clearly remember saying, damn, what if they remade Part 1 on this engine with these graphics and this type of gameplay? That'd be crazy. And this remake was just that. It was damn near a religious experience for your boy. I mean, I can't remember the last time I've had as much fun playing a game as I did when I was playing Part 1. I enjoyed playing it so much that when I beat the main story, when I beat Left Behind, I was like genuinely sad that it was over. Even though I spent like a little over 20 hours on the game total, I mean, that's really the highest praise I can give a game, is literally not wanting to put the controller down. I feel like basically everything that could be said about how amazing The Last of Us is has been said 1,000 times already, but I'm gonna say them again anyway. The story itself on paper really isn't anything special. It's another post-apocalyptic zombie type story. What makes this game so special is that Naughty Dog quite literally executed everything they set out to accomplish perfectly. The main thing being their amazing characters and writing. Joel and Ellie are two of the most iconic characters in gaming history, and it's for good reason. They're insanely fleshed out, interesting, and likable characters. You really grow to love them and their relationship throughout the entirety of the game because of the amazing storytelling and dialogue. And this doesn't just apply to Joel and Ellie. All of the side characters are also super memorable and they all get their time to shine. My favorites being Bill, David, and Tess.
Adios, little brother.
Bye, Tommy. We love you, Tommy. The amazing character work also enhances the amazing world building that's in this game. All the environments in this game feel unique, lived in, and add variety while still feeling like part of the same fucked up world. Each location has their own interesting landmarks, factions of survivors, and unique stories. The Last of Us by far has the best environmental storytelling I've ever seen. I always felt compelled to explore every location to find notes or disgusting dead bodies, get extra lore and stories about what was happening to the people in this part of the world. And one of the biggest strengths of this game is how it handles the apocalypse itself and the infected. Instead of doing another standard zombie apocalypse, they decide to base their virus off of the real-life cordyceps fungus. I find the infected in this game much more creepy and disturbing than your normal run-of-the-mill zombies. And that's a credit to the amazing art department and the incredible sound design. Clickers, stalkers, bloaters, and even runners look genuinely disgusting, and the sound design really adds to the horror and atmosphere for a lot of insanely tense and terrifying moments. Okay, lit.
Damn it.
No. I don't scare easy, but those stalkers, man, shit, they get me every time. I'm talking pure heart-pounding, palm-sweating, anus-clenching fear. Playing like the no way. No fucking way, dude. Jesus. Fuck off. Go back to hell. Fuck off. No. 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 Teabag, teabag. Oh, I tried teabag. No, 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 no. Fuck off. I picked a really bad time to try to teabag one of them. They really nailed the tone of the game too. Don't get me wrong, it's very dark and gritty, but they add just enough levity and beautiful moments to stop the game from just being an overly dark and depressing experience, while also not taking away from the more dark, disturbing things in the game. Since I'm basically stroking this game's shaft right now, I'll just finish by saying that this game has the best music I've ever heard in a video game, period. It's really just got one of the most memorable scores I've heard in general. Certain pieces of music in this game are just ingrained into my brain forever. I even made a playlist with my favorite tracks that I just bump randomly from time to time. I could appreciate a good score, but I usually don't just sit down and listen to it, you know? But I do for this game. But besides everything I just rambled about, why do I love this game so much, and why does it mean so much to me personally? And really, it's just a major case of the right place at the right time. I was going through a lot in my personal life when I played The Last of Us for the first time. My family moved out of my childhood home and away from all my other friends and family. We were basically in the middle of nowhere. And then eventually we moved into a tiny apartment above my grandparents' garage just so I could stay at the same school that I've been going to. It really took a toll on me. I mean, I felt really isolated and lonely, just alone, kind of like I was in my own little world sometimes. And naturally, I was the most depressed I've ever been in my life. I was mentally in a not good place, really. Plus, I was like 16 or 17 at the time. I mean, how many high school kids are really mentally stable? You know what I mean? When I first bought my PS4, I got the Last of Us bundle, but I really bought my PS4 to play Black Ops 3.
Outcome? Train go boom.
So it actually took me a really long time to actually get around to playing The Last of Us. And I really don't regret taking so long to play The Last of Us because, like I said, it was really just the right place at the right time. I played it when I needed it most. Going through everything I was going through, I naturally just immediately connected to Joel. I could kind of relate to how he was feeling, just kind of lost and hopeless. And then Ellie shows up and she shows Joel. Sean Connery, she shows Joel. I'll take 8 tits for 400. Oh god. She shows Joel, and when you're lost, you have to look for the light. I feel like I just truly became one with Joel throughout the entire game, just realizing that I can't just give up and I have to keep finding something to fight for. And it showed me that if someone like Joel could find happiness, and I sure as hell could find happiness, because let me tell you, what I was going through was nothing compared to what Joel goes through in the game. That shit was crazy. And then Ellie being the catalyst for Joel's recovery just made me latch onto her and love her so much too. I mean, a lot of this probably sounds corny, but it is what it is, you know? She was the light that I needed and that Joel needed, and it woke us the fuck up. I don't know. Call me a cornball, fuck you, I don't care. And that's really the power of these characters and what Naughty Dog did with this game. It's really rare to find characters that you connect with on that level, but I did. Joel and Ellie supersede video games. They're just two of my favorite characters out of anything ever, period. Whew, okay, after all that praise and all that emotion, let's bring up some of the flaws with the remake. Because remember what I said, unbiased. Let's just start with the elephant in the room. No prone and no dodge from part 2. Naughty Dog said they didn't add prone to the game because the original game wasn't built for it. And to be honest, I completely agree. If they added prone to this game, it would basically break every single level in the game. You can't really add a new movement mechanic without completely overhauling the game, and that's just not the point of this remake. The point of this remake was to get the original game just on PS5 looking all purty and shit. But now the dodge is a different story. The dodge was an awesome addition to the combat in part 2. It added so much more intensity and just skill to the game. And there really is no good reason for the dodge not to be in this game. It should be in the game. Is the dodge not being in the game a complete deal breaker? No, I don't think so, but it is very disappointing. I mean, the core gameplay in part 1 feels much more in tune with part 2 than it does the original Last of Us, and the dodge was a massive component of the part 2 gameplay. So not having it there does feel like a big gaping hole in the gameplay loop, and it would have made the game that much better. And there's no factions multiplayer in this remake of the game, which is to be expected. We're getting a standalone factions game in 2023, so why would they remake the old mode when they're going to be cooking up that new shit for us? I know the Last of Us community, me included, has been frothing at the mouth of the idea of part 2 factions, but we're just going to have to wait a little bit longer, and hopefully the wait is worth it. Knowing Naughty Dog, it probably will be. But if this game did come with factions included, the debate would be over for me. This game would 100% be worth $70 no matter what. But since it's not there, now there's room for discussion. And since I brought it up, let's wrap this video up and let me tell you guys if I think it's worth $70 and if you should pick it up. And basically, to help you decide if you should pick this thing up or not, I have a few scenarios and basically just follow it like a little guide and I'll let you know what I think. If it is your first time playing The Last of Us and you've never played the game before, I would say, yeah, you definitely need to pick this up. I would even pick it up for $70 if you can afford it. But obviously, if you want to wait for a sale, go for it. But this is the best version available of an all-time great game. The gameplay feels so much better. The story hits even harder now with the improved character models and facial animations. I found myself getting even more emotional playing this game than I did playing the PS4 remaster because the facial expressions and the animations are so much more lifelike. The improved visuals and the amazing haptic feedback on the controller makes this game even more immersive than it already was, and it was really fucking immersive already. Plus, you're also getting the Left Behind DLC. So if you're a first-time player, this is a no-brainer. Just pick it up at any price point. Just get your hands on it and play this thing. If you've played the game before, but you're not a diehard fan, but you're thinking about giving it another try on the PS5, I would say do it. Just maybe wait for a sale. At its core, it's the same game you've played already. It's just got a new coat of paint. And if you're a diehard fan like me, shit, you probably played this thing fucking 5 times already. You probably got all the skins unlocked. You probably got all the character models unlocked. You might have some concept art unlocked. You might have paid $100 for it like I did and got the Firefly edition. And if you did, I like you. I want to be your friend. I just smack my mic, hit the subscribe button, and join my community. I think most of you guys could see this coming from a mile away. The Last of Us Part I is clocking in at a 100% on the Bravo barometer. I like this game. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was probably a long one. If you're still here, if you haven't already, just make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe. I'm going to really be shifting my focus more towards YouTube in the very near future. I'm talking more videos, and I'm also going to start streaming here on YouTube instead of the purple platform. I also just want to say thank you guys so much for the love on my last video. It's my first video to get 1,000 views. And I got a whole bunch of new subscribers off it. So if you're one of those people, I just want to say thank you so much. I really appreciate this love and support. That's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And I'm out. Peace out, everybody. Endure and survive.